What is what on Windows 7 Part 2? This is Windows 7. This is what we call the desktop. Down the bottom here we have the taskbar, and here we have the start button. So far on the desktop all I have is the recycle bin. I can open the recycle bin by double clicking it, but I can also right click and choose open from here. You'll see how it opens in bold. That means that the default action when I double click is to open it. The few other options is to empty the recycle bin, create a shortcut. I don't know why I'd ever want to do that. Rename it. Typically I wouldn't, but I can go to properties of the recycle bin, look at the space available on my drives, choose how much space to allocate to recycled items, choose not to use the recycle bin, and choose whether to have a dialog box displayed when deleting items. I can move this recycle bin anywhere on my desktop I want to. With the recycle bin, the idea is that it gives you the ability to cover items that you deleted that you then decide that you shall kept. It's not a container to store files in, and it doesn't guarantee that something that you delete will go to the recycle bin. If I right click on the desktop, I have the view option. I can change my icons to be large, or I can change my icons to be small, or back to the medium default. I can also sort my icons on my desktop by name, size, item type, or date modified, which typically I would not do. I can refresh my desktop, something that we don't really do anymore these days. We used to years ago. We would find that the Windows desktop would become a little bit corrupted, and the refresh would sort that out. These two items are for the clipboard. I can create a new folder or shortcut or other items on my desktop. I can change my screen resolution. At the moment there's only one monitor and the resolution is 1280 by 720. I can plug another monitor into the system, tell it to detect that monitor. If it doesn't automatically, I can identify it so it shows me which monitor is which. I can then choose that monitor and adjust the resolution per monitor. Right click. I can choose gadgets. I can decide to have a calendar and a clock, or other gadgets. I can even go online and get more gadgets. Right click, personalize. Here I can change the desktop background. I choose landscape. You can see the background has now changed to landscape. I can go into desktop backgrounds and personalize which pictures I have. I like this one, I like this one, and I like this one. I can tell it how it displays the image. Fill will zoom into the image so it takes up the full screen. Fit will show me the entire image but maintain its proper size. Stretch will stretch the image to fill the screen. Not too bad on this particular image, but if this was a picture of your family, they might look a little bit skinnier or a little bit fatter. Tile, no good for this size image, but for very small images it will tile across as shown in this little picture here. Center, this image is centered fine, but we'll sometimes put black borders on the left and right or the top and bottom. I can also set how often the picture changes, between 10 seconds to 1 day. At the moment, after this image is displayed, it will then go to this image, this one, and back to the first one. I can change it to shuffle so that the choice of image is random. I can also go to window color. At the moment you can see the top's grey. I can change that to green. I can choose how transparent that is, or even tell it not to be transparent at all. I can also go into sounds, change the theme that we use for the sounds, and OK that. I can also go into the screensaver and set a screensaver. I choose bubbles. Here's a preview, and after 1 minute of inactivity, I have the screensaver kick in, and I can choose whether or not that when I move the mouse, it will want me to log back in, or whether it will just bring me straight back to where I was. Another setting is to choose which icons to have on your desktop. If I right click and go back to personalize, I can click change desktop icons. Here I can choose computer, user files, network, and control panel. OK that. And you can see here I now have my user files and my computer, as well as of course the recycle bin. Now I can move these around to wherever I want. If I was to right click and change my view to auto arrange icons, they will always click in, but I can't move this down to the bottom anymore. It snaps straight back up. If I go into view and turn off auto arrange, and turn off align icons to grid, I can move them exactly where I want them, but they'll tend to get a little bit messy. So I like to have view align icons to grid turned on, and then I move the icon to where roughly I want it, and it snaps into place. I can also choose to show the desktop icons and to show the desktop gadgets. So I can turn those on and off. So basically, this is the Windows desktop.